Hey everybody, we're back to round 2 here, Mark and Mario.
Hello.
Doing some commentating on Modern Magic at GameSwap Mason, brought to you by Top Deck Productions on Twitch TV. Yeah, we got a good matchup here. It looks like Soul Sisters, which could mean very many things. It could be mono white,
Could be red white.
it could be red white.
That's about it.
Could be a boat. You know, we always wanted the boat.
So yeah.
Could be blue. You know, you never really know with these Soul Sisters decks, but it's probably mono white. Sometimes, you know, a Norn deck is usually self-identifying.
Yeah.
It'll say Norn Soul
Yeah.
Sisters.
People are proud to play Norn.
Yeah. So, but who knows? Soul Sisters can also mean it can also be a misnomer for Martyr Proc. You know, this could really be a Martyr Proc deck using Martyr of Sands and Proclamation of Rebirth and that kind of strategy.
Yeah.
Bunch of Wrath of Gods.
Sarah Ascendant.
And then we got a Naya midrange deck. I'm not sure exactly what that entails. I play a Naya midrange deck, but I'm doubtful that Curtis's deck looks like that.
It is not quadruple sleeve, so I can tell you already it's not the same.
Yeah, my Naya midrange deck is more like it's like
Nightfall.
No, it's more like a it's more like Naya Company, like Loxodon Smiter, Knight of the Reliquary, Voice of Resurgence,
Just
except
without
for
the company.
Yeah, except for instead of companies, I have Huntmasters and Ajani Vengeance and
Right.
Arlingcourt, stuff
Maybe
like
Curtis
that.
is on company.
But maybe that's what he's. Yeah, I'm thinking he's on more of. Oh, that's a Smiter.
Yeah.
He might have stolen my deck.
He stole your list.
Yeah, good. he might be
Your
playing something.
unpublished list.
He might be playing sort of a
I
company.
think it's even foil, right? Because that's what the symbol. That's why we see the symbol there.
Yeah, yeah, that's a watermark for sure. Yeah, foil watermark.
Maybe,
So,
maybe he just stole your deck.
Maybe. So these Naya midrange decks, it's actually, even if it were Naya Company, it wouldn't be incorrect to call Naya Company Naya midrange, because Company in these Naya
It's
decks
a mid-range card.
is actually a pretty, yeah,
Sure.
it's a midrange
4 mana.
card. People call it Zoo, but these decks that are like a Naya Company strategy don't really resemble Zoo at all. They're not playing Goblin Guides, they're not playing Bushwhackers, or you might not even play Wild Nikata. You can play Wild Nikata, but you don't have to.
Sure.
There's not a whole lot of creatures outside of the Loxodon Smiter that you would find in a zoo.
It's true. You don't find people in zoos too often.
And even the elephants that you find in zoos usually aren't elephant soldiers, you know, like Loxodon Smiter is.
I don't know. You maybe haven't been to the same zoos as me, but I've definitely seen a fair share of elephant soldiers.
You've seen elephant soldiers?
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen a Loxodon hierarch in a zoo? That is to say, an elephant cleric.
Definitely.
The
whole army.
You see, yeah. they had the elephant cleric, the elephant chaplain,
the flag bearer.
Yeah,
they had everybody there. It was a good time.
So yeah, we're seeing some shuffling here. It's going going a little bit awry.
So London led with Soul Sisters. I think it's a Flagstones of Trokar.
Yeah, so Flagstones actually tells me that this deck might not be what we think it is. Flagstones, you can play it in mono white and you get some value out of it. There are gimmicky things you can do with it. It's Ghost Quarter resistant. You can Ghost Quarter it yourself.
You don't lose much in playing. You don't lose anything really in playing. Except if you draw 2 because it's legendary, but you still don't lose anything because you get the land anyway.
But I wonder if we'll see something cool here, like a Sun Titan.
Sure.
You know, something like that. But
we do see Martyr of Sands.
Okay, so it is. So this is not. So for those of you wondering about your modern nomenclature, this is not a Soul Sisters deck. You can call it that. I mean, it's fine.
It is a Soul Sisters, but there's a bigger archetype.
Yeah, it has. Well, it's a more specific archetype.
Yes,
it's a Martyr Proc deck more than anything. And what that tells us is that he almost certainly has Sarah Ascendant, a deck that does not have Martyr. You know, you can play a Soul
lifelink for 1. Oof.
Yeah, if you play a Soul Sisters deck. You might not actually have Sarah Ascendant because you don't gain all that much life, especially in like a Norn deck. You can gain some life and stabilize yourself, but that's not the point of the deck. The point of a Norn Soul Sisters deck is to abuse ETB triggers.
Well, we're going to see some life gained here. We're going to reveal 4 white cards.
Yeah, but when you're playing a Martyr Proc, like Martyr of Sands here, to gain 15 life, I think, is he going to gain 15 life?
Is it 3 times the number of white cards?
Yeah.
So 12.
Oh, so he revealed 4 cards. Yeah. Right. So he sacrificed this Martyr of Sands, revealed 4 white cards. As we can see, one of those cards is Sarah Ascendant. Right. So that's a 6/6 life linker as long as you have 30 life.
Which he does.
Which he does.
We'll probably see that here.
Yeah. The other cool thing about playing Martyr of Sands in this kind of deck is you get to do a whole lot of really. So is that Najani's Pridemate?
Yes.
Yeah, so if you had that in play already, it would be like a 15-15.
Sure.
There's one of the things you can do. But Martyr of Sands actually works really well with recursion strategies and also Squadron Hawks. Squadron Hawks goes and puts three white cards in your hand.
And you're revealing.
And that's why you see these decks play cards like Proclamation of Rebirth. Interestingly, these decks also tend to run a bunch of Wrath of Gods, which seems counterintuitive because it's a creature deck. But you'll actually see a lot of Wrath effects in these decks because they can get their guys back with things like. Actually, I wonder if he might have Dust to Dawn. That could be a
sure.
new,
That would be a new.
That could be a new spicy
innovation.
include. Yeah. Usually the decks play Proclamation of Rebirth, but you know.
So here we see
Dust
the
to Dawn
6/6 Ascendant, and yeah, guys, we're sorry about the new lighting making the card so glaring. It's an unfortunate change that the store decided to implement. So yeah, we can. I mean, I think Curtis played a Lockdown Smiter there since he tapped 3 mana, but we can't really see it due to the glare. Hopefully, we'll try to find a solution to that in the future, but
yeah,
for tonight, you're just gonna have to listen to us, hoping to guide you through it.
Yeah. Yeah, the store changed the store owner changed the lights in the main room, and I guess usually they're instructed to not change the lights over the top deck table, but they did in fact change that light, so it's pretty bright.
I saw an Invocation Ronus the Indomitable in Curtis's deck there.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Ronus is actually pretty cool for these decks. You can get him off Collected Company. That tells me that Curtis probably is playing Collected Company. Sure. But it's pretty sweet. You know, he's indestructible. He's a 5/5, and he can give your guys Trample. Trample is going to be a keyword. That's awkward to say, but it's going to be a crucial keyword.
A cornerstone keyword.
Yeah, a cornerstone key. That's right. It's going to be a key in this matchup because he's got a lot of life you need to punch through and a lot of blockers.
Yeah, the glare on the right side there is pretty high. I don't know. He just tapped 4 mana to play something. Don't know what it was. What is that? Oh, I think he said it was a Woolly Thoktar.
Oh,
but somehow it's an 8/7, so something's giving it +2/+2, or +3/+3.
Yeah, so Woolly Thoktar is a 5/4.
Oh, his other card is Knight of New Alara. Or maybe that's what he played now. Okay, right. So Woolly Thoktar was the card there on the bottom, and then he backed it up with Knight of New Alara, which gives a creature +1/+1 for each color it has. So wow.
Wow, this is not at all the deck I thought it was.
It is playing Knights, but not the Reliquary Knight.
No. Yeah, so his 4 drops, he does not have Huntmasters in the 4 drop slot. He's got Knight of New Alara.
Knight of New Alara. That is spicy. So he's probably got a lot of multicolored creatures then.
Yeah, so each other multicolored creature you control gets +1/+1.
That makes Ronus seem pretty good if you give your 8/7 Thoktar a trample.
Right.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, that thing... Well, okay. So London here going with the Ranger Vios into double Saracen.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, we're going to need... You know, a Declaration in Stone would be great here out of Curtis.
Yeah.
Exile all cards with the same name. Otherwise, he's going to have a really hard time dealing with 3 6/6 lifelink flyers.
Yeah, I've actually played this match in a tournament before. Well, you know, I was playing my version of Naya Midrange versus Soul Sisters, and it's actually a very tough matchup. In one game, I actually resolved an Ajani Vengeance Ultimate and blew up all my opponent's lands, and I still lost because as he realized that he wasn't going to be able to deal with the Ajani Vengeance, he held lands in hand, and then I think he held like 1 or 2 planes in hand, and then he just dropped a bunch of Sarah Ascendants. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, and then you just lose. That might be the case for Curtis here.
Yeah, this is gonna be tough.
I think London also has an Honor of the Pure in hand, so that'll make his Ascendant 7/7s then even.
You make his Ranger Veos a 4/3.
Yeah. Still doesn't block the 8/7 Thoktar, but the Ascendants will be able to.
Ooh, a Wilt-Leaf Liege. So Wilt-Leaf Liege is gonna give.
This deck is going deep.
It's gonna give green-white creatures all +1/+1. Which means that the Woolly Thoktar is now going to be a 10/9 or something.
10/9, yes.
And the Wilt-Leaf Liege itself will be a 6/6 because it gets
got 2 colors.
Yeah, because it's multicolored.
And the Knight of New Alara will also be a
4/4.
A 4/4, yes.
Yeah. So this
going
is
deep with the synergy here.
Yeah, you know, Huntmaster Knight of the Reliquary is pretty good, but this also seems good.
Yeah, I like this. If only he had a way to give his team trample somehow, that would be very powerful.
Yeah, maybe we'll see him play
an overrun.
No, I was gonna say what's the name of that Triumph of the Hordes?
Ooh, the infect finisher.
Give him trample and infect.
That would be something. Even trample though might be hard pressed to get through all these 6/6 flyers.
Well, but a 6/6 flyer with lifelink even isn't any good against a Woolly Thoktar.
A 10/8 Woolly Thoktar,
2 of
for that matter, or 10/9.
Yeah, but no, the race here is on though because these things swinging with flying.
In fact,
are going to be a big deal.
Curtis is not quite dead. Curtis will be dead next turn, though, to the attacks in the air. Let's see, as a way to remove these flyers.
So, I don't love our Soul Sisters player here putting counters on these creatures.
To indicate their power and toughness.
They do not have counters.
I think it's useful.
That's kind of misleading.
It's useful to keep track.
Well, what's misleading about it
is that the Ajani Venom actually has counters?
The Ajani's Pridemate, yeah.
Sure, the Ajani's Pridemate, yeah.
Is that an Ajani's Pridemate?
Yes.
Okay.
That's why it's been gaining a counter every turn.
So, yeah, that's something I'm not super wild about.
Smiter. Well, Smiter's not going to block 7/7 flyers.
Neither is a tapped Raging Ravine.
That is true.
It's too bad it's not a Stirring Wildwood. You know, oh my gosh, a Stirring Wildwood here with a Knight of New Alara in play and a Will Depletion in play would be a 7/9, right?
No, it would be
7/8. A 7/8. Yeah, a 7/8. Man, if that Raging Ravine
the
was Stirring
Raging
Wildwood,
Ravine itself. What is that?
We got to tell him. We got to go tell Curtis to.
Maybe he has both.
You should do the Dutch shuffle to get the Stirring Wildwood in his hand.
So, yeah, it looks like Curtis is gonna die to these flyers, though, unless he's got the Pocket Fog. That would be
the Pocket Fog. Now, actually, you know, if he had a Pocket Fog, he can actually swing for a lot of damage.
He'd win. I think he'd win.
6, 8. So the Smiter's an 8/8.
Everything's got 8 power.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. He didn't have the Pocket Fog, unfortunately. So
you're right. That would have been 8 + 8 + 9, or 8 + 8 + 10 + 6.
Yeah, and if you wanted
8 + 8
Raging
+ 10
Ravine,
right. And the Raging Ravine would be
like a 8/8.
It'd be a 7. It'd be a 7/7, I think, swinging to become an 8/8.
Yeah. Jeez. Unfortunately, the giant creatures didn't matter against the flying horde of super powerful angel things, whatever an ascendant is. Is it an avatar? Maybe it's an avatar.
I think it is an avatar.
Is it a cycle? Is it like Death Shadow is one of them, and then that's another? Is it from Zendikar?
Say what?
Ascendant? Is Sarah Ascendant from Zendikar as Death Shadow is?
No, I think it's from a core set.
Okay, never mind then.
I don't know where it's originally.
If it is an avatar, though, that would be kind of synergistic. So hopefully Curtis has some answer to giant flyers in his sideboard. Not really sure. Probably some flyers of his own. What type of multicolored flyers can we see played?
Ooh, not a lot. I'm thinking Trigon Predator.
Well,
but that's in banned colors,
blue,
so multicolored. I can't think of a good one right now. I wonder if he has Knotvine Mystic.
I certainly don't know what that is.
Knotvine Mystic is a bad mana dork. It's because it's cost 3 mana. It actually costs Naya colors, so same mana cost as Woleth Oktar. But if instead of a 5/4, you get, I think, a 2/2, or even maybe even like a 0/2, that you can pay a colorless to filter to tap for Naya colors. So he mana ramps you.
Okay, so he ramps you a bit by giving you.
Yeah, he ramps you 2, but he's a 3-drop.
Huh. That seems really bad.
It is really bad. Hey, Collected Company can hit that guy. It seems okay.
Okay, right.
So yeah,
just some more spot removal even would help him, though. I mean, he probably has paths.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got paths. Deckenstone would have been nice, like you said.
Yeah, but I don't know, that doesn't seem like a very popular modern card.
Actually, the last big Zoo Naya midrange type deck I saw,
apart from your own,
my own, was one that in a tournament finish, I think it was at a big Grand Prix. I think it got like 12th place at some Grand Prix, and it had 2 Deckenstone in the sideboard.
All right.
And I'm
it's
like,
a good card.
Yeah, and I my answer to things like Lingering Souls and boards that go wide is Bonfire of the Damned
or Thundermaw Hellkite.
And Thundermaw Hellkite. But I actually, Deckenstone seems good. I mean, it gives you the potential to just win.
Yeah.
And you can also, in a pinch, use it to draw cards yourself.
Yeah, Deckenstone, your own guy to get a clue.
Yeah.
That's true.
If Deckenstone were an instant, it would be amazing. Like in response to your opponent's removal, you could Deckenstone yourself. And then you're just straight countering their spell and drawing a card.
Yeah. I would love that for standard, of course. So Curtis on the play here. So just big beefy creatures. Midrange really fits the bill here on his deck description. I'm surprised. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you make your Dokdar as big as Death Shadow is, it's pretty good. Of course, it still dies to Fatal Push, but
yeah. Yeah, one thing I will say about the lighting situation here on the table, I get a lot of crap for playing my decks with Pro Matte sleeves, Ultra Pro Mattes. They're actually different than any other sleeve that's sold because not only is the back matte, but the front is non-glossy. It's almost kind of a matte cellophane on front. And those actually would not reflect the light that is currently displayed on this table.
That is likely true.
So these people are getting punished for not using the Ultra Pro slips that I've known are good all the time.
Do we think Curtis's deck is foil? We saw Loxodon Smiter was foil And maybe that is that might also contribute to the glare. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah, I don't. I think it was just.
Could also just be the position of the light. So we see Curtis Lee with untapped Temple Garden here. So probably has a mana dork then. Or he's just dealing himself 2 damage. Nope. It's going to be a Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch.
All right. That is not a multicolored creature, even though it has multiple colors on the card.
Yeah, it's actually mono white.
What? oh, sure. According to our vision here. So we could see any of his 3-drops here on turn 2.
But I hope Curtis has Knight of the Reliquary, but
well, maybe he'd have Knight of the Reliquary.
No, it's it carries Relic. We've been over this, Mario. Oh, I think he's got a Geist of Saint Traft. I think Curtis has a Geist of Saint Traft, which is gonna come down on turn 2 here.
So he's Naya blue. Sad Naya?
Yeah, maybe he got a mountain because he can use the Hierarch for blue. I'm pretty sure that was a promo Geist of Saint Traft.
I mean,
maybe not. Geist of Saint Traft would swing as a 4/4 with Knight of New Alara in play.
Yeah, that is pretty true. Yeah, I mean, if he is, well, I don't know. If he was playing blue, I think he would have fetched like a breeding pool there turn 1 though, just in case, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, is that a Safi Eric's daughter?
It is a multicolored creature.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious if it were a Safi Eric's daughter.
It wasn't there a new combo spawned by that with like Renegade Rallier and Safi Eric's daughter?
Yeah. There's also always been a combo with it in Revelark.
Okay. What? Naya Hushblade?
I'm looking it up.
I think that's what he's saying.
I gotta pull out my iPhone.
Yeah, reading it.
I like to think that I have a vast working knowledge of modern cards, but this one is
going too deep.
Yeah, this is testing me. What was it called?
Naya Hushblade, I think is what he said. Yeah, here we have it. It's a 2/1. As long as you control another multicolored permanent, it gets +1/+1 and has Shroud.
Okay, well I did know that it was going to be that type of card because there's a whole cycle of Blade cards that have the same mana cost but shifted across the shards.
Sure, okay.
Because there's like Jund Hackblade and there's Esper, I think Stoneblade or...
Esper Stoneblade is a card, yes.
Well, that's a deck. Esper Stoneblade.
Oh, you're right.
Esper Stoneblade is a legacy deck,
yeah.
But I think it might be like it's like Esper like Metal Blade. I don't know.
So okay, some weird blade.
But yeah, I
so this creature is a 3/2 Shroud for 2 if you have another multicolored permanent.
Yeah. So what's interesting is that Naya or the Knight of New Alara seems to be absolutely critical to have.
Right. So
right. Because a lot of these cards, because this card gets this Naya Blade card gets +3/+3 when that's in play.
Oh yeah.
But when that card's not in play,
I like that. A 6/5 Shroud for 2.
Yeah.
Seems good.
But when that's not in play,
it's
a 3/2 Shroud for 2 is a little underwhelming.
The best.
You might as well play a Scythe Leopard.
Sure. Yeah. So we see London fetch out his squadron of Squadron Hawks here.
Yeah. I wonder if we see the whatever it's called, the Martyr proc next turn.
Proc, yeah.
This Squadron Hawks is just absolutely great with Martyr proc.
Yeah, I don't think Curtis has any ways to prevent life gain like a Skullcrack. He's not really a burn deck. I mean, obviously he's a multicolored tribal deck. Great. So he's gonna have 4 mana here. We could see the Knight of New Alara. He draws a Raging Ravine there off the top. Yeah, Knight of New Alara makes this Hushblade pretty potent. Oh, well, maybe not. We're gonna see the tap Raging Ravine.
I wonder if this deck wants... are there any other hybrid mana symbol cards that could be good in this deck besides ones from the Alara block?
Dryad Militant?
Oh, yeah, Dryad Militant would be cool. Yeah, it's because that card's already really good with Wilt.
It is multicolored.
Yeah, Dryad Militant is already really good with Wiltleaf Liege.
Right.
It actually sees quite a bit of modern play, or it has in the past. It's really good against Dredge because they never get their life from the loams or conflagrates. Yeah. They just never get them.
You could play Boros Reckoner, but I don't really know if that makes sense in this deck.
Yeah, it would just I think if you're gonna play a hybrid mana symbol card, you want it to have green-white so you can synergize with the Wiltleaf Liege. Yeah,
is good.
But Dryad Militant actually seems great. It seems like a solid one drop.
Here, and here is Ronas, the not doing anything, unfortunately.
Yeah. So this deck would way rather have Dryad Militant over Wild Nacatl.
Yeah, unfortunately, so Ronas kind of a nombo here with Noble Hierarch. You can't declare it as an attacker and get your Exalted trigger to make your guy a 4-power creature at the same time. So even if you would get to 4 power off the Exalted, your Ronas is still not going to be able to attack, which is kind of unfortunate. Of course, as we saw last game, Curtis's creatures tend to get very large to allow Ronas to attack. But at this point, like the Hushblade is still a 2/1, and nothing else has 4 power. So Ronas not going to be able to attack or block yet.
Yeah. For Curtis, it's kind of awkward. I see why he's playing these manlands. The manlands are very good with the Wiltleaf Liege strategy and with the Knight of New Alara strategy, but the deck doesn't really want tap lands, you know?
Yeah. So we see London go with the probable sideboard Burton Forge Tender. I'm guessing that's a hedge against Anger the Gods here.
Yeah, but it also, it blocks Raging Ravine.
Right, it blocks from red creatures.
So that seems okay.
I don't know if Curtis would bring in Anger the Gods. I guess it would be good in this matchup, but I don't know how bad that is for his own deck. I mean, if he doesn't have a Lord out, even if he does have like a Lord out and the Lord isn't pumped enough, he can just kill his whole board as well. So
yeah, this is a very interesting deck from Curtis.
And we'll see the 5th land untapped. 5 mana. What could that mean? Summit. I'm hoping we see Summit here.
That would be sweet.
That would slot right in.
But now Summit's not actually Samu. I think it is. Does not actually have white in her mana cost, so she'll only count as 2 colors for the Knight of New Alara effect. But that'd be sweet.
Could he animate Raging Ravine here?
Yeah, he could with the Noble Hierarch.
Ooh, that would be nice actually. Animate Raging Ravine, turns on your Militant, also turns on.
Well, the thing is, the Brenton Forge Tender though is able
block.
to. Yeah,
it can block either thing.
Yeah, and he can't turn on. Yeah, the Raging Ravine is not a 4/4 until it attacks.
Another
so
unfortunate non-bow with. So he's going to give the Stone Hushblade, +2/+0 and Trample, which will allow Ronas to attack. But we're going to see a path here take out the Hushblade. That is unfortunate. Ronas no longer going to be able to attack. We'll get Curtis a mana, and London, he's been developing his board slowly, but he hasn't had the super powerful start with the Martyr that he had last turn. And we also haven't seen any Sarah Ascendants. Of course, you usually want to save those till after you get your.
I believe I saw an Engineered Explosives in Curtis's deck there, which seems
yeah,
good here.
That's very good.
Yeah, put that on 1, kill basically the whole deck.
Yeah, or put it on 2 and kill all the Squadron Hawks.
You
deal with those. So
yeah,
you can't get through
can't kill the Squadron Hawks. They'll get you.
I wonder if Curtis has any additional plays here on 2 mana. His deck does look very high curve. He's got a lot of like 4 drops, 3 drops, 5 drops.
Yeah, I'd wonder if
fits
there's
the mid-range bill, but I wonder how effective that is.
I'd wonder if there's like 8 or 9 mana dorks.
Sure. Yeah. Certainly a unique deck.
Yeah, Knight of New Alara, not one you see every day. I would have said that about Wiltleaf Liege, but you do actually see Wiltleaf Liege.
Occasionally.
You never see Knight of New Alara.
I've actually not even heard of Knight of New Alara. Ooh, does look like he has a 2 mana play here. Not sure what that was.
So I was going to say, your point earlier, Mario, about Samu, Voice of Dissent.
It seems to be Samut.
It's Samu.
No, I think the T is hard.
No. I think your T is hard. Samu is actually really good in Knight of the Reliquary decks because you can untap your knights with her ability, and just get straight value.
Okay, so Curtis played another Naya Hushblade there, and we see another Soul Sister here from London. He's been on 2 mana for a while. That's not a huge deal for his deck since all of his creatures are basically 1 or 2 mana, but it is preventing him from doing a whole lot. He's got a good amount of cards in hand. Still has 2 Squadron Hawks in hand, which are sitting off to the side there. They're not in play. They're just revealed because he revealed them when he found them with the other Hawks.
So we'll see Curtis tap 2 lands.
Tap 2.
Nope.
Tapping 1.
Just 1.
Tapping 2. Oh. He green, white, red. Are we seeing a Radiant Flames here?
Just a Smiter.
Just a Smiter, aren't they?
Radiant Flames. I was actually when he said green, white, red, I was certain it was going to be a Woolly Thoktar.
Oh, that's true.
Or a Notvine Mystic. The Notvine Mystic not super popular right now.
It's gonna pass.
Not in this meta.
Not get in there with Ronas.
Yeah, so
lose. Oh well.
I guess
Ronas is getting path regardless. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't swing into the.
I mean, you can even Ronas becomes a 6/6 Death Touch. You also can use its ability with the Noble Hierarch. You can't use it on Ronas itself, but he could have pumped the Hushblade perhaps, which does now have Shroud. And he can't pump the Hushblade. Yeah, that does not seem very good.
Yeah.
Giving your creature Shroud and then you can't target it with Ronas' ability.
Frankly, I think the the Hushblade is fine. I'm not wild about the Ronas.
The Ronas,
Especially the Ronas is only one color, so it doesn't synergize super well with well, it doesn't get any bonus from Knight of New Alara, and it only gets +1/+1 from Wiltleaf Liege.
Yeah, it seems not good. Very good in this deck.
It's a dubious include, I think.
I understand the reason behind it. You want to give your gigantic 10/8 Woolly Thokdar trample, but maybe there are better ways to do that. There's probably better ways to do that. I got to assume. Alright, so we're going to combat, attacking with the Hushblade. Gets the Exalted trigger. So it is a 4?
Does Curtis have a deflecting palm in hand?
I don't think so. I think he has 2 green-white creatures.
I really think that's a deflecting palm, but I don't know why you would want that.
So he's just gonna... That seems wrong on London's end. So Burnt Intender, Forge Tender has protection from red, right?
Yeah, that's it, though.
So couldn't he have just blocked this guy? Instead of sacrificing it to prevent the damage from Hushblade?
Wait, is that what he did?
He sacrificed it to prevent the damage from Hushblade.
Instead of blocking.
Instead of just blocking.
Yeah, it has pro red, so it can never be damaged by
a red creature.
Yeah.
Maybe he was confused by the hybrid mana symbols on.
Could be.
On Naya Hushblade.
Yeah,
it is technically red, right? Because it has the hybrid in it.
Oh yeah, it's a red creature. Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if.
End step.
Okay, that's a deflecting palm, right? Isn't that what I said?
Okay, yeah. I guess he just deflected the Squadron Hawk?
Yeah, I'm not sure why you bring that in. I mean, that card you could blow your opponent out if they're swinging with the Sarah Ascendant, you know, and you prevent their lifelink and you deal them 6 damage. But at the same time, I'm just not wild about that card coming in here. That card has some very specific uses in Modern.
Right.
It's okay in the Burn Mirror, and it's good against decks like Infect and Bogles and Death Shadow, but
we misunderstood the Forge Tender interaction. The Forge Tender had attacked the last turn, so of course it couldn't block since it was tapped.
Ah, okay.
I still don't like using it there to prevent 4 damage from the Hushblade. It's not like if it damages you, it's not doesn't have any effect.
No, though London does need to keep his life total above 30 for any Sarah Ascendants. So keeping your life total above 30 is relevant.
But I think Forge Tender blocking this 4/4 Raging Ravine probably would have been a better use of the protection.
Could be.
So we're going to combat. Oh, he did play a Martyr last turn, so you'll see pretty large gain of life here.
Yeah, but I think London only has 3 cards in hand right now, so at most he's going to gain 9 life.
Still turns his Ascendants online.
Yeah.
So we're going to block, locks in on Smiter.
Are we going to see a Skullcrack?
You can respond to the trigger of paying the cost.
I think.
Does he have a Skullcrack?
No, I think he had like a lightning bolt.
Oh, okay.
I think he thought he could maybe remove it, but that obviously wouldn't work because in response to the lightning bolt, London could just sack.
This Naya deck is very spicy. We agree.
Right, so you reveal the cards. Oh, he's got 5 cards in hand still?
Yeah, because those 2 Squadron Hawks were sitting off to the side.
Yeah, Spectral Procession is really powerful with the Soul Sisters. You can just gain a whole bunch of life that way if you don't have a Martyr.
So we're getting some judge clarification on the what is actually part of the cost to use this Martyr.
And now he's gonna Atarka's Command maybe.
Oof.
Do we think he has it? He's got green red up.
He could have the Atarka's Command.
I wonder if we see it.
Spicy.
I would just love that. I would love every part of that.
So he must have had like a bolt or something, because he doesn't have any way to prevent the actual life gain.
So I did not like Deflecting Palm at all coming in, but Atarka's Command coming in is really interesting because Atarka's Command also has the bonus of giving your creatures reach.
Right.
And in this matchup, that's huge. Yeah. If he swings with his 2 6/6s and you block with your 8/7 Woolly Thokdar, you blow him out.
Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the so when I started playing Modern Online, I got completely blown out. I don't know. I was playing Lingering Souls deck, and I just attacked all them into my burn opponent. And he goes Atarka's Command, gives all those guys reach. I didn't even know that was a feature, and I lost the next turn.
No, I've won a few games like that with that card. I actually used to play it in my side. I played one in my sideboard. I would use it against like Tron decks, but also decks with flyers, and it's just good. It's a good card in burn, obviously, but it's also just an okay card.
So we see London deploy his Sarah Ascendant, which is now turned on to be a 6/6 flyer lifelink. The rest of his hand is pretty expensive though, so yeah, actually not drawing these lands has restricted him from some plays. But he's still, I would consider him ahead in this game. We still haven't seen any removal out of Curtis's deck.
Yeah, he must have paths, right? Well, I know he has the engineered. I saw the engineered.
He has
explosives.
deflecting palms.
Yeah, unfortunately, deflecting palm can't remove anything, and your multicolored spells don't get any bonus off Knight of New Alara.
That is true. Raging Ravine is getting back into the fight.
Man, where are the Stirring Wildwoods though?
We're getting in there. All right. No fear with the 6/6 flyer lifelink. Maybe he does have a bolt. He's planning on bolting this after blocks or something. We will block a Raging Ravine. Oh, we got something. Red-white. Ride down. Woo! Eldritch Moon Limited All-Star.
Oh,
yeah, we're looking at that one.
No, that card is originally from Khans of Tarkir.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they actually reprinted it, I think.
So it
Man, that is
destroys
spicy.
a creature, a blocking creature, and then basically it gives your creature a trample. Well, it kind of gives your creature trample. It essentially makes it as though it had trample. Oh, it does. It literally gives it
so maybe okay. No, I think you're right. That's not. There's a similar card from Khans, but no, I think that
yeah, it's from Eldritch Moon.
Yeah. No, great card though. What a swing.
Yeah.
Not expecting that at all.
Definitely not. Destroying Sarah Ascendant and still getting in for 5. I like it.
Man, couldn't take him off 30 life though.
That's true. It did not do quite enough damage. We did lose something. Oh, wait, what? Something got pathed? Yeah, something else got. Wow, I think London has drawn all of his paths. That might have been all 4. It's either 3 or maybe it was 4, but that seems pretty good.
Yeah, well, it seems good except to the extent that it's, having those 4 cards in hand is obviously prevented London from developing his board too well.
Admittedly, at that point,
what he needs instead of those paths are more lands. In fact, at this point, London might be
pathing.
He might have been better off in this game pathing his own creatures because if he could cast that Ranger of Aos, he could probably get a Martyr of Sands and a Sarah Ascendant.
He didn't need to. He had Ghost Quarter off the top.
Oh, duh.
Easy. He can't cast the Spectral Procession yet, though, right? That's triple white. Oh, he's going to use it.
He could Ghost Quarter himself to do it.
He Ghost Quartered his own planes there.
Yeah, because you can make triple white for Spectral.
Yeah, but that's not a Flagstones. I'm sorry. I thought the other card was a Flagstones, but
is that no? I think that's an Emir of the Sky Ruin.
Okay. Or it could be the other weird one, the Mistveil Plains, maybe.
Oh, it could be.
Its name looks kind of short, so I think I'm gonna go with Mistveil Plains. So we will see the Spectral Procession then. Get 3 1/1s, gain 6 life from the double Soul Sisters. It's pretty good.
Yep. Little known fact: all you got to do to filter for colored mana with Ghost Quarter is Ghost Quarter yourself.
Yeah.
Easy life.
So this still does cut him down on mana for the future. I mean, he's not gonna be able to cast Ranger of Aos for a good while.
Yeah, I'm not wild about that play. He's not dead. It's not like he was dead.
He's at 31.
Yeah, he's at 31 life, and his opponent only has what at most. Yeah, I mean, he can only activate 1 Ravine at a time. Oh no, I guess. Can Curtis fire up 2 Ravines next turn? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
If he hits his land drop, he can.
Yeah, if he has a land.
But London was not necessarily in danger of dying there. I don't like Ghost Quartering yourself.
Sure.
Because now you're right. He's never going to cast that Ranger.
Right. Might not need to, but he is. I mean.
I think he needs to cast that Ranger.
Well, Curtis is already at 9, right? 2 more attacks, he's just dead. So.
I suppose, but I mean, if London can't afford to swing out with these tokens,
I think he can. He's at 37
for 3 turns in a row.
No, he only has to swing for 2 turns. Right? He's got. Oh, you're right, 3. Yeah.
No, I don't.
He has more Squadron Hawks in hand, but he is yet to cast them.
I guess this is a strange race, right? With London's life total being insulated so much, it's hard. I can't quite math out who wins this race.
Okay, he's gonna chump with one of the spirits because that doesn't change his clock from 3 turns, I guess.
Yeah, but now his 3-turn clock requires him to tap all flyers.
Right. That's true.
And that allows Curtis to present an enormous clock because Curtis hit his land drop, right? So he can now activate double Ravine.
I don't think he has double Ravine. That's a Stomping Ground.
Oh
yeah,
you're right.
Oh yeah, we're getting in there.
We've made that mistake before.
Yeah, attack for 3. Curtis is at 6.
Grounds,
Play our Squadron Hawk.
Stomping Grounds don't get to stomp
gain 2
like
life.
a Raging Ravine does.
Yeah, I think unless Curtis finds some removal, I think London will be able to just block his way to victory here. Oh, well, we got some at end step. Coco. Okay, so he's playing Coco.
Well, maybe we'll find some flyers here.
What are we hitting with this Coco? We're hitting Ronas, we're hitting Naya Hushblade, Smiter,
and Path.
I'm just throwing it. He didn't actually hit any of those cards. It looks like he hit double path and just a hierarch. Yeah, that's kind of the risk with playing, you know, bigger. Maybe his only 4-drop is the Knight of New Alara.
Yeah.
But, yeah, putting those 2 paths to the bottom is not what he wanted to see.
Yeah, that's tough. Also, path is kind of unfortunate in this matchup. You're trapped to leaving it in for the Sarah Ascendant.
Right, but it's bad
against everything else.
Yeah.
My intuition is you want to leave it out or leave out most of them because you'd rather just try to kill your opponent and make their Sarah Ascendants 1/1s.
Yeah. Well, we found yet another land.
The path is terrible against Ranger of Eos because they already got the trigger. Path is terrible against Martyr of Sands because it does nothing. Path is terrible against Squadron Hawk and these Souls tokens.
So here is a situation where Ronas would have been very good, giving his giant creatures trample through all these 1/1s.
Sure.
Fortunately, Ronas met a path to exile. Another reason why the new gods are not great in Modern in general, but block with the Squadron Hawk. Okay. Yeah, I guess you might as well. I mean, you only need 3 flyers to win in 2 turns.
Now, it is possible that Curtis has some sick draws that get him out of this.
Some way to deal 1 damage to all his opponent's creatures.
Yeah, Bonfire of the Damned would be cool. But I was thinking he can actually possibly shove through enough damage.
Getting in there with the sisters.
So he's tapping out. So London ostensibly has a blocker he can play. Ew, gross.
It's a pretty good blocker.
Yeah.
Because there's no way Curtis is swinging for 35 next turn unless he can.
Well, he'd have to swing for 42.
You're well, right, yeah. Or unless he can remove the Ascendant. So engineered explosives off the top.
It's good, yeah. But you got to name.
No, I think that he still has a Squadron Hawk.
Yeah.
Expedition. No, that's not an expedition. I don't know.
Horizon Canopy.
Some sort of land.
No, it's a Horizon. It's an expedition Horizon Canopy, so he gets to draw 1 more time. Yeah, I would use the mountain there. Oh, collected company.
Cocoa.
Okay.
What does that do though?
I think you just gotta use it. See, in case you forgot what's in your deck.
Find Thunderbreak.
Okay, I don't love tapping the Hierarch there. Why would you tap the Hierarch? You could leave the Hierarch as a potential blocker.
Well, here we hit some power, but it's not blocking flyers.
Well, I don't know if there's any Black Lotus in there, but
sure. We hit a handful of Thoctars. I think you just slam the Invocation of Ronas just to show off here at the end. Seems like the correct play.
Yeah, that thing seems
That
dope.
is a Knight of a Reliquary there, too. Or then maybe there was a Dromoko's Command. Yeah, there it is. There's Invocation of Ronas. Why not? Yeah. That is a Woolly Thoctar, yes. Yes, this Naya mid-range deck, it's a bunch of multicolored creatures, which are very good together, and then Ronas, which is very bad with all of them. Well, not all of them, but he doesn't have much synergy.
His curve toppers are Wiltleaf Liege and Knight of New Alara. And Knight of New Alara is actually pretty sweet here, but not quite good enough against all these blockers.
Can we swing for 41? We're blocking that Smiter. All right. London down to 39. I like Curtis's mannerism here. He's just playing it out. Like it's nothing. Like his opponents they're both at 20. Who knows? All right, pass the turn. Like it.
All right. Well, here you never know what could happen here. It could be a boat. We always wanted a boat.
Attack for a lot.
All right. Don't shake his hand.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, we're blocking. Yeah, we're blocking. All right, there's game.
All right, there it is.
Thanks his opponent for the game. You know what? Curtis loves his deck.
He does.
Sweet.
I love his deck. I mean, Willie of Liege is one of my favorite cards. Seriously, like of all time.
Yeah.
Knight of New Alara, less so. I'm less wild about that, but any deck that plays that many 4-drops is a deck after my own heart.
Right.
So.
We got to give credit for trying out a sweet, innovational deck. That's not something you're going to see in Modern.
Did you just say innovational?
That's not the word I meant, but I said it. I kind of combined 2 words there.
For those of you playing along at home, it's called innovative.
Innovative, sure.
Anyway,
that's actually not even the word I was looking for. But whatever.
Anyway, motivation. Was it motivational?
It motivated me.
It was innovative and motivational. A portmanteau.
Multicolored cards. Sure.
So anyway, folks, thanks so much for dropping in for round 2. Round 3 will be back soon. And I wanted to mention, don't forget to subscribe. You can now subscribe to our channel.
Yes, we are now an affiliate with Twitch.
Yep, affiliate with Twitch.
So that lets you subscribe. So what that does is it maybe gets us new lighting, so you don't have to experience this unfortunate glare. We're sorry about that again. We will try to fix that in some way in the future. It may be impossible, but we'll try our best.
Little known fact: if you have Amazon Prime, you actually get a free.
You get a free subscription.
Yeah, you get a free Twitch subscription to a channel. So
if you like
if
us,
you have
and you
Amazon Prime
us.
and you don't watch other Twitch channels, throw us a bone. Support content that you like. And then also we've got a Patreon to help keep the stream going. Easy way to get involved with, a one-time donation or a sustaining membership. I actually just got involved a couple of weeks ago doing a sustaining membership. But even just a one-time donation helps the stream out a whole lot. Helps us keep improving the quality. So anyway, yeah, I think we can get a link to the Patreon maybe in chat.
Yeah, the new lighting. Maybe I meant a new light bulb. Perhaps that's what we can look into. All right, thanks guys. So we'll be back for round 3 in about 10 minutes. Stay tuned.